Mike Rowe is not a religious leader, but he's a very wise man. He is, of course, an author and a television host. He has an idea called Safety Third, and we thought tonight would be a good time for him to explain it to us. Mike Rowe, great to see you, as always. Safety Third. I don't think you have it in the right, is it supposed to be first?
Well, top five, for sure. Safety Third really began as a good-natured attempt on dirty jobs to inject a little personal responsibility back into the prevailing orthodoxy, which is exactly as you have stated, safety first. And safety first, like so many well-intended ideas, was a notion that simply got a little ahead of itself. I mean, there was a real problem with occupational safety in this country 100 years ago. Something had to be done. OSHA came along, and a lot of people got behind it and introduced a phrase that has become a bromide and a platitude, and that phrase is safety first. But of course, it can't really be true, right? I mean, no business exists for the purpose of being safe. Businesses exist for the purpose of making things and paying people money to work. You can do those things safely, obviously, but so many companies spend so much time telling their employees that they care more about their own safety than they do, that something really interesting, I think, can happen. And I saw this on Dirty Jobs. Safety Third really began as a one-hour special that looked back at the unintended consequences of what could happen on the job if safety were overvalued. And this, of course, was very controversial, but it ginned up a great conversation and allowed us to look at things like risk equilibrium and homeostatic risk and all kinds of different things that impact our behavior when safety is accentuated. And the levels of complacency, paradoxically enough, that often infect us when we are in compliance, completely in compliance, whether it's wearing a seatbelt or a motorcycle helmet or a mask. You can be in compliance and still not be out of danger. So Everybody on my crew was safe for the first 2 seasons. Nobody got hurt, and we sat through dozens of mandatory safety briefings. All we heard was safety first. By season 3 and 4, we were breaking fingers and toes and ribs. Everything went off the rails. We were all getting beat up. Fortunately, no one too tragically. But what happened was we simply bought into the idea that our safety was somebody else's responsibility. I started saying safety third as a reminder to me and my crew that the minute you believe that, you're in danger.
Boy, I wonder, and we're almost out of time, just give me the one sentence. Do you think you would be allowed to make a TV show with the title Safety Third right now?
No, that's the one-word answer. But if you want a little more insight, Google C.S. Lewis. He wrote an incredible essay back in 1948 called On Living in the Atomic Age, and it frames the entire proposition perfectly. As you said at the outset, nobody's getting out of this alive.
I'm going to read that tonight. Thank you for that. Mike Rowe, it's great to see you.
You too.